Good morning, December 13th today. Ending our readings in Hosea 12 through 14 today, and then we are in the book of Revelation 4. And today Hosea, he's kind of going into the back with some of the examples, particularly Jacob wrestling with Jesus and some of the things that were happening at that point that were going on with Jacob. He struggled with the angel and prevailed. He wept and sought favor from him. Inspired by the Holy Spirit, Hosea emphasized two details about Genesis account. He told us that Jacob prevailed in the wrestling match, and second, he told us that Jacob wept in the struggle. And for me, I look at this as Hosea just reminding us that there's going to be a struggle, and we prevail when we lose, and we know it, and we surrender to God. That's what jumped out at me. Just surrendering everything we have to the Lord, and by that, we prevail, and we transition into a relationship with Him the way we need to. And then the book of Revelation, this is one of the great ones for me, and you got to kind of pick through this because some of it's symbolic, some of it's not. But here's John being taken up to heaven, Revelation 2 and 3 spoke to the churches, and the seven churches comprehended all churches. After Jesus was finished speaking to the churches after these things, John experienced the vision of Revelation, and the first voice that spoke to John in Revelation 1:10 spoke to him again here. And that voice of Jesus called him up into heaven through the doors standing open into heaven. It says, he entered, with a trumpet, and we saw, visions of what heaven's gonna look like. The throne and excuse me, just some of the aspects of sitting at the feet of Jesus. To me, that's just going to be an incredible day, and to me, I wish there was able to be more description about the divine being, but some things we don't need to know, obviously, but just the vision of Jesus on His throne, and God there, and us entering are going to be some of the amazing parts. And what John saw around the throne, the 24 elders, it says here, around the throne were 24 thrones. In the thrones I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads. Around the throne were 24 thrones. Before the elders caught John's eye, he noticed the 24 thrones that they sat on. And these 24 elders sat on lesser thrones around the throne. Later, John will mention their song of worship, which is in verses 10 and 11. Commentators debate whether they are glorified human beings or angelic beings. Taking all things into consideration, the elders certainly seem to represent God's people. Another part clothed in white robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads. The white robes and crowns of the elders seem to indicate that they're indeed human beings in glory, of course, in their glory. angels are sometimes presented in white robes or garments. Mark 16 talked about that. But saints also have white robes, and we'll read about that in chapter 6 and 7 of Revelation 2 as a picture of their righteousness. And another part here, the impressive and fearful sight of the throne of God. And from the throne proceeded lightnings, thunderings, and voices. 7 lamps of fire were burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. The lightning, thunder, voices, fire are all remembrance of God's fearful presence at Mount Sinai. They communicate the awe associated with the throne of God. 7 lamps, the Holy Spirit, the 7 spirits of God, are referred to in Revelation 1:4 and Isaiah 11. Is represented by 7 burning lamps. In other passages, he represented as a dove or a flame of fire. The lamps of fire are important because the Holy Spirit is not ordinarily visible. To become visible, he represents himself in a physical form like a dove or a tongue of fire. And then the sea of glass before the throne. Is the sea really made of glass, or did it just look like it? Commentators are divided on this point. For example, the writer Robinson says appearance, not material, and Alford says material, not appearance, whether it looks like glass. And to me, again, who gives a rip? It doesn't really matter. But again, some really good deep stuff in the book of Revelation today, and as we read this, I hope our eyes are opening more and more to God's glory, to His majesty, and how things are going to look and be when we get to be in heaven. So have a great day today. I hope I see you in service at 10:30, either live, in person or on Facebook Live. Looking forward to a great day today. God bless you all. Have a great day, and I will see you Monday morning.